Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Love is Blind, Season 3, Episode 6, Return to Reality. Okay, so I have been super excited and positive about this show until this episode. This is the first episode that I actually came across where I was bored. So we're going to make this recap not boring, but I'm telling you, I was bored. I thought it would be more exciting. It feels like we're building up to something, but it was kind of boring. So we head back home. Basically, we got the couples. They're still in Malibu, which I don't understand why they had them there. I guess it's easier because it's probably close to I'm guessing, wherever the sound stage is for the pods. But they had them in Malibu, and of course we had the annoying twins, Vanessa and Nick, there. Nick wants to know how the physical connections are going. Vanessa calls him creepy Uncle Nick. It's the first time I've agreed with Vanessa. So basically we left off on a cliffhanger last night, or the night before, whatever. We had Colleen and Matt. I said last time I felt like Matt was way overreacting, but Matt and Colleen had a big blow up over her conversation with Cole, and they just kind of were made up this morning. I'm guessing they worked it out physically. So they seem happier today. I guess that's good. Don't think they're meant for each other. I'm going to cut to the chase. Most of these people are not. I tell you who's really not, Raven and SK, and she does not even try to act like she's into him anymore. I think that Raven and Bartise are both doing this thing where they're like looking for deal breakers because they don't want to be with the people they're with. I don't know if they want to be with each other. He seems to want to be with her. I don't think she wants to be with him, but they're both leading their partners along. Raven can't even fake like she's into SK anymore, and Bartise is faking a little bit. I think he was more into Nancy seeing her financial setup, but he's looking for reasons to bolt as well. So again, this is going to go really well, right? Okay, so they have 21 days till their wedding. They move into these like corporate apartments, and they're furnished, and basically they have to live like a couple, doing things like grocery shopping and whatever they're doing this week, they have to get on. So they are having real conversations, except for Alexa, who cannot stop talking about her clothes. Listen, be into clothes, who cares? But that's all she seems to be able to talk about. Last episode, it was, I don't repeat the same looks or outfits. And this time it's how much space she needs in the closet for all her clothes. It's just a lot, right? It's just very superficial, which sucks because I really liked Alexa, but I'm liking her a little bit less now. We got Cole and Z. I don't even know why they're trying because it's not going to go well, right? These two are not compatible at all. So they think that they'll do better in this phase rather than the getaway. And my argument is, if you can't make it work at the getaway, this beautiful resort where you're just like having sex and drinking champagne, you're probably going to struggle in the real world. So I don't know what they're thinking that this is going to be easier than the vacation sex that they just came off of. So we do find out that stuff's going on with Cole. Cole's family is not into this at all. They don't understand what he's doing. They're not there for it. So that's going to be, I'm not saying he can't do it without his parents' approval, permission, blessing, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, it's going to make things tough. They're already struggling, so that's going to be something else that's going to work against them. Bartise and Nancy, he's nervous. He's never lived with a girl before. He seems very nervous and hesitant, and we'll get into their stuff later, especially later. Colleen and Matt, she seems excited about wedding planning, but I don't think she's thinking about after the wedding, then you just have this guy you're living with. You better figure it out, right? So he likes where they are and how they got there, but I'm thinking, I don't know, that blow up was pretty bad. We'll see what happens there. I stand firm that I still really like SK. I like him even more after meeting his mother. I love her. She's like the sweetest lady ever. Raven is just not into this at all. I don't know when she's going to break it off, but I feel like we're headed there any minute now. She just doesn't seem into him at all. Nancy is showing Bartise her rental properties, and she's basically really got her crap together. She owns 5 places and has a business partner who is her ex, but she buys these places, fixes them up, rents them out, and she gets a nice income from that. She wants to get to the point where that income provides for her life and also helps provide for her family. So she seems like a hard worker and very goal oriented. I was hard on Nancy at first because she just seems so giggly, and I think that's nerves maybe, but I like her more now. I still can't with Bartise. I didn't have a problem with him at first, but he sucks now. He's just not into her except for the financial benefits, but he can't stop talking about how physically he's more into Raven. Alexa and Brennan, I want to root for these two. I do, but they're gonna have issues, right? I'm not saying you have to be exactly alike to get along, but you just feel it coming, right? I think if anybody has a chance to work, it's probably them, but I don't know. He just seems like he even says, I own 20 things. And she talks about all the stuff. It's always about the stuff with her. So I don't know how that's going to go. Raven and SK's mom comes over and cooks a nice meal for them. They are Nigerian, so she's learning the culture and the customs. She cooks a beautiful meal, and Raven kind of kept making faces. She seems standoffish about it. She reveals that her parents are skeptical about the process, but again, I love SK and I love his mom because couldn't have been more warm about it and welcoming and saying, it's cool, whatever my son wants to do, I support. And I really liked his mom a lot. I liked his brother too. He didn't say much, but he seemed nice enough. Now, talking about tough brothers, we got Nancy's brothers. But you know what? I get what they're doing. They maybe see through Bartise. That's what I'd like to think. And they're not letting him get away with being a dick. I don't know. They ask him about physical stuff, and come on. Let's call a spade a spade. He's basically nah, she can't gain weight. We're going to work on that together. It's whoa. Yeah, that was tough to watch. He sucks. She can do better. They go to her mom's house. Mom is a tough cookie. Mom basically says, I'm sweet until I need to not be and protect my daughter, which I respect. At least she's honest about it, right? Turns out he's about $15,000 in debt between his student loans and his car. And so whereas the rest of them are financially stable, and that's a whole thing. They won't put things on cards. They won't, they won't do car payments, things like that. They don't want to take on the debt. So that would be a hard adjustment in that situation where you've known somebody for 2 days and then to enter into the situation where you have their debt as well. Part of being married, right? Z and Cole. So her story is heartbreaking. In case you don't remember, her dad passed away and then her mom passed away. So her and her sister, they didn't have the parents. And then her stepmom stepped up as legal guardian at 13 for her, which is amazing. That's a really cool thing to do. And Z seems to truly love her stepmom. So they ask about Cole's family. He explains the situation and that they're not into this process, but they will be nice to Z, according to him. Still got to be hard. Again, it's not... I get it. Families are complicated, and you don't always have, everybody's approval or on board, but damn, it makes it easier if they are, right? So it's going to be tough. Now we get into the stuff with Raven and SK. I did not care for Raven here. She is talking shit about him from everything from his love of velvet and his apartment to his Nigerian trinkets. She was picking them up and kind of judgmental about them. He talks about his schooling. He is lucky enough to have a full ride, so that's amazing. But he'll have to live like a student, basically, and she says she's not willing to compromise. She expects that he will help pay for things, even though he's struggling himself, right? It's just like, girl, if you really love this guy and you think you will make the distance, like, you just have to understand you're going to have to rein it in for now, and then eventually maybe not, depending on what kind of job or degree or whatever he's able to get. He's trying. He seems really sweet about it, and he even says in the interview she's kind of being unreasonable and she's not willing to compromise. So I don't know how you live with that. Okay, 15 days to go. We got Nancy and Bartise. Now, I'm not going to get into this conversation because, about a billion reasons, but I'm going to keep it very light here and just say they had two very different viewpoints on some issues, and they talk big issues and current event issues, and there's some huge differences between them. All I got to say is, girl, run. Okay, Alexa and Brennan. So he goes to meet her family, and oh my gosh, I was like, what is that noise? So anytime I say Alexa, my house goes crazy. That's funny. She thinks I asked to look up the name Brennan. So yeah, my Alexa is explaining Brennan to me in the background in case you hear that. Okay, I gotta quit saying that name. Anyway, so he's meeting her family, and he's being very sweet. They have a very close-knit family. They are Israeli and they are Jewish, and he is neither of those things. And so he's talking about, maybe taking a class and trying to understand. And I mean, truthfully, I think he's very sweet. I think the whole situation is awkward, meaning like there was a lot of awkward silences, and maybe it's editing that they focused on the awkward silences. And basically the dad pulls him aside and is like that. I can't say the name again because my computer will go crazy, but his daughter he literally says, my daughter is not a simple girl. And he ends up, the episode ends with the dad saying, from what I know about my daughter, she's not going to stay married to a chump. So obviously, I just think that that's editing, meaning like he probably did, he did say that, but I don't think that was a threat towards Brennan. I think it was, I don't know, a dad observing something about his daughter, maybe that she's high maintenance, and just FYI, I think that it was cut to look that way, obviously for drama effect. But we'll see. It does sound like there's some, they obviously have major differences. They just have to decide if it's going to work or not. But so I would say this episode was more of a filler episode for me. I thought it would be more exciting, but it wasn't. So I'm going to just keep moving on and jump right into the next episode. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully there'll be more drama. Can't wait to see what happens there. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to further support the show, check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps, where I deep dive all the episodes of Sex and the City. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to talk about the next episode of Love is Blind with you. And if you have another show you're obsessed with, please leave it in the comments, because I'm all about it. I welcome the suggestions. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.